I'm planning to elope because my parents want my sister's boyfriend to propose to her during my wedding, and they're pressuring me to agree. Here's what they don't know. I already found out 3 weeks ago. I just haven't said a word. My mom called it a beautiful idea. Said she saw it on Instagram. Some reel of a maid of honor getting proposed to mid-reception while the whole room loses their minds. Tears, confetti, 1,000 shares. My mom watched it on repeat and apparently decided that was the blueprint for my wedding day. My sister is my maid of honor. I sat across from my mom at her kitchen table and she described the whole thing like she was pitching a movie. Her boyfriend would have his friends do a choreographed dance to her favorite song. Then he'd get down on one knee. Then I'd give a speech about how today was about the two of us, sisters together, and how happy I was to share my moment with her. She actually used the word share. I didn't say anything right away. I just nodded and told her I'd think about it. Then I drove home, walked into our apartment, sat down on the couch next to my fiancé, and stared at the wall for about 4 minutes straight. He asked me what happened. I said, "We're eloping." He didn't even flinch, just nodded and said, "Okay, when? That's the man I'm marrying." Here's the full picture. My fiancé and I have been together for 6 years. We got engaged 18 months ago. Neither of us makes a lot of money, and we were upfront about that from the beginning. We didn't need a big wedding. We wanted something real. His uncle's property, lake in the background, maybe 30 people who actually meant something to us, string lights, good food, done. We were genuinely happy with that plan. Then my parents heard about it and said absolutely not. My mom said a wedding like that would embarrass the family. My dad said they had relatives they hadn't seen in years who deserved to be invited. They offered to pay for a proper venue, catering, a photographer, the whole thing. We said no at first. We didn't want to owe anyone anything, especially not my parents, because there's always a cost with them that doesn't show up until later. But they pushed, and eventually we gave in because they seemed so genuinely hurt that we were keeping the wedding small. My mom cried. My dad said they'd been looking forward to this for years. We thought we were doing something kind. $30,000 later, my mom is sitting across from me explaining that since she's the one paying, she gets to make certain requests. Her request was the proposal. I told her no. I actually laughed first because I thought she was joking, and when I realized she wasn't, I said no clearly and directly. I told her it was my wedding day, not a surprise engagement party, and that if her boyfriend wanted to propose to my sister, he could do it literally any other day of the year. She told me I was being selfish. She told me I was jealous. She brought up my sister's childhood cancer. She survived it when we were kids, and she was 10, I was 12, and it was devastating for my family. I know that. I've always known that. My sister's illness shaped everything about how my parents raised us, what they prioritized, who they protected. I don't resent my sister for surviving. I never did. But I have spent my entire life watching my parents treat her struggle as a reason to give her whatever she wants forever, and watching them treat any boundary I set as proof that I'm a bitter, jealous person. And here was my mom, doing it again, at the kitchen table, 3 weeks before my wedding. I told her I thought it was strange that they offered to pay for the wedding so suddenly, and now I understood why. She started crying and told me to leave. Then her, my dad, and my future brother-in-law all texted me separately, warning me not to tell my sister about the proposal. Like I was the problem. Like I was the one who needed to be managed. My fiancé called his uncle that same night. His uncle said yes without hesitation, pick a date. We moved everything up by 1 week. We changed the honeymoon flights, paid the change fee out of pocket, didn't care. We reached out to the 12 people who matter most to us and explained the situation. Some of them rearranged travel plans. One of them took extra days off work. None of them complained. Not once. My mom's venue is fully booked, fully paid, completely non-refundable at this point. She called me twice this week to go over the proposal logistics. I let her talk. I said in the right places. I did not tell her anything. She thinks she's throwing my wedding next Saturday. She's going to show up to a venue with flowers and a photographer and a choreographed dance and no bride because I'll already be married and I'll be in Italy. She wanted to share my day. Fine, she can have it.